saying, I'm enough.
You just rewired your brain.
In this moment, I choose joy.
You just rewired your brain.
In this moment, I am filled with gratitude.
You just rewired your brain.
So I ask you, is today the day you've had enough? Is today the day you say, I am more than my own story. I am my own creation. I choose more. I choose greatness. I choose greatness. I choose greatness.
You just rewired your brain.
You need to stop shaking your brain that keeps you from your amazingness. And that shaking in your brain is called self-talk. The brain looks for two things. Will it kill me, the saber-toothed tiger? Or how fast can I recognize the pattern? You're about to break the patterns that you once knew. And that's scary. And Jim Rohn's favorite word, until you do it long enough. Here's what I know. It's time for you to dream again. Let's start dreaming. We're fighting this war for our brain. Here's what I know. It's time for you to dream again. Let's start dreaming. Because you are perfect. You are possibility and creativity right now in this moment. You're the most amazing creation on the planet. You are ready to regain your mental prop. We're fighting this war for our brain. Your thoughts create your income.
We don't hear you.
Thank you. That's my number one single off of a number one album. Talked about the Success Mindset Mix. So you can Google that on Spotify and iTunes. Hey, today the conversation is we're wrapping up our profit levers conversation. And today the conversation takes us into the world of follow-up and connection. Yesterday we did presentation. The previous day we did engagement, and the day before that we did marketing. So there's 20 profit levers that you need to pull. Well, I guess you don't need to. If you would like to have easier success in sales, in the transference of enthusiasm, because if you're not pulling a profit lever, if you're not pulling that, what is in place is their protection lever, AKA objection. But the challenge is that objection is, I don't have money. That's not the objection. The objection is they might not, they don't have money for you. They got money for other things. We know that. They've got a nice iPhone. They've got all this other stuff. They may be out of money. Their cash flow may be off. So have you ever asked your prospects when they say, I don't have any money? Say, I listen, I understand that, but help me define what it means to not have money. Does it mean that your cash flow is tight right now? Does it mean that you are wanting to protect your money right now? I get it. You don't want to lose any money. I understand that 100%. See, the challenge is when we hear an objection, we instantly lose our shiitake and we wind up arguing the objection. And that's not what they're arguing. We should honor their objection. We should honor the thing they're protecting. So in the last section, we talked about profit levers, right? How to create safety, how to create clarity, how to create confidence. So the prospect, the person you're having a conversation with, the potential customer, can make decisions that feel aligned with their desires. This is why we prospect. We ask people, what's your why? Your why should make you cry. I get it. One of the things that's most important to understand is that you never have the permission to hear somebody's why until they give it. So you asking somebody their why is not permission to receive it. Just saying. When you understand that, what do I do to get somebody to tell me their why? You got to ask the questions around that them telling you gives them a path forward to a solution that you can provide. So here's the reality. Even after the best presentation, listen carefully. Well, drop a Y in the chat for yes or N for no. If, listen to this, the reality is, even after the best presentation, is it possible people don't say yes immediately? Y for yes or N for no. You give the best presentation and they'll always say no. I mean, I'm sorry, they'll always say yes, right? This is what's important to understand, is that when you have this, when you understand that even the best presentation, maybe 97, 98% of the people are going to say no. Maybe 2 to 3% are ready to get started. So if you think you're this one closed Charlie, I'd think again. The average person in today's marketing needs to see something, hear something about 16 to 18 times. So can you create a connection 16 to 18 times with somebody in relatively short order? How many of you have ever purchased a car? You ever been in the closing of the car? Ever been in the, what do they call it? The finance guy's office? And they're trying to sell you the warranty. They're trying to do these things. And anybody ever been offered their floor mats? They leave. They're in that conversation. They're talking to you, and they'll say something like, hey, did the salesman tell you that the floor mats are an upgrade? Do you want the traditional floor, the regular floor mats, or do you want the upgraded floor mats? Well, what are the upgraded floor mats? Well, they're ones a little bit heavier duty, blah, 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 blah. Hey, listen, let me go talk to the guys in parts. They're detailing the car. Let me go talk to the guys in parts and have them put the upgraded floor mats in there. And they leave you. They're gone for at least 2 minutes. 2 minutes is the key. The brain, we're kind of like a dog at that point. How long, I'd be curious, type it in the chat. How long would you have to, how long would well, see, that's the challenge, or that's the thing that's, I would ask them if they were crazy. Well, of course, you could still ask them. They're going to do that. They are going to ask you that. They're going to leave you at least 4 or 5 times. They're going to break the engagement, break the conversation while you're still sitting in the office. And the reason they do that is to build rapport. Listen, car salesmen spend a lot of money on training. Car dealerships spend a ton of money on training. And one of the keys, if you notice it next time you go to buy a car, is that they will do something to leave you in the office, to leave you to your own devices. And if you're with somebody, they'll leave even longer so that you can have a conversation, so that whenever they come back, it is a new engagement. They'll start the second or third or fourth engagement with, where were we at? What were we talking about? Yeah. So that's how that, and whether it's car mats or something else, get you the oil changes. We'll get you signed up for the oil changes. That's part of our program. Let me go talk to the maintenance guy, but they'll leave you in a conversation. So my point is that it's important for you to recognize that when you're having a dialogue with somebody, the more dialogues you can have, the more breaks you can have. See, sometimes even telling a story takes the pressure off. Telling a story, telling something about something that might be related to it, preferably not. You see a picture of somebody fishing. Hey, tell me about fishing. Right? This is why it's so valuable to go to their Facebook page or their Instagram page or their IG page, right? And go look at some things that are going on in there, so that when there's a little tension when you can feel them activating their protection levers, you can break the pressure by talking about something in their past that they really like. Because right now, if they're activating a protection lever, they don't necessarily like where they're at. They're feeling the pressure. So most people don't understand humor to use it professionally, to use it in their conversations. They want to be right about everything. So they don't understand humor. They don't know that it is one of the most powerful tools you have available to you. So even after the best presentation, and listen, your network marketing companies, your product companies, your service companies, whoever you're with, they've got some presentations that they've done that you would hope are pretty good. Why don't the presentations, if their marketing department is so good, if their company is so good, why can't they come up with a presentation that everybody who sees it says, I'm ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. Because they know that's not possible. And I'll bet dollars to donuts that if you look at the presentation and you look at the you look at the person who created the presentation, it is to their personality type. It's rare. It's rare. I'm not saying it's impossible. I've not seen anybody in my 20 plus years. Not saying they're not out there. It's rare to find somebody who encapsulates all four personalities in their dialogue. They think they do. They talk about it. If you were to take their script and throw it into a personality profile determinator, you'll see that there is a majorly dominant personality type. So when you're doing these follow-ups and you're doing these connection levers, it's important to understand what area, what quadrant, what signal your presentation puts out. Because unless your prospect is in that signal, you've now got to go back and fix and mend in your follow-up. You've got to mend and make their signal more valuable. But they said they wanted to get started. Yeah, what does getting started mean? Tell me what getting started means. What does it look like? When you say, I want to get started, oh, okay, so they want to join me in business. That may not be anything to what it means. It could be that when they say, I want to get started, I want to figure out who I can help. I'm not going to do anything, but I want to figure out who this would be good for so that I don't have to do anything. And what I'll find is that people can't afford what I do, so therefore it must not be good, and so I can't do any good, so I won't join. Well, that's the craziest thing ever. Sure it is. And so is your enrollment rate. Your enrollment rate is the craziest thing ever because you talk to people, you share with people, you have a product or service that's valuable to people, and yet they say no. So it ain't the information. It's not the content. It's the misalignment of signals. So follow-up is key. Fortune is in the follow-up. Ray Higdon says, how long should you follow up with somebody? Till they tell you to go to HE double hockey sticks, or they move on to a higher energetic field in life. Yet because we see objection as objection and not as a protection on their part, we don't follow up. We don't stay connected. We don't offer an open window. We keep wanting to show them their mirror, and they don't like the fact that their life is where they're at. They're stuck. I've got 6 things going on and I can't do anything more. Why do you have 6 things going on? Is your life so void of desire and want that you've got to work on 6 things? What would be the one thing you'd want to work on? I can tell you if somebody's working on 6 things, 7 things, it's because none of them are working. Well, you can't say that. I mean, you know, look at Musk, look at Bezos, look at all of these wealthy people. They run 4, 5, 6 companies. Different conversation. they don't have a challenge spending $400. They'll spend it. Tell me why it's easy. They'd much rather spend $400 million, $4 million, $400,000. Now you got my attention. The challenge is that we think people are paying attention to $200, $300, $400. They're not. Why? Because they don't pay attention to it in their life. They just don't. You'll spend 300, 400. Let me ask you this, and no need to respond in the chat. How many people do you know, or do you know anybody who spends an extra $200, $300 on stuff that's just not valuable a month? And people who tell you they have no money, they spend money on $200, $300 worth of things that there's no value to them. Maybe there's a memory. So then they can't tell you they don't have money. They just don't have a priority to give away their money to you, because everything that they're putting their money in, they know isn't the wildly most valuable resource that they could put it in. So they're assuming, they're allocating the funds they would give to you as lack of return as they get from the other things they spend on. But see, we don't pay attention to that. We just say, well, I don't know why they're lying. They got money. They don't have money for you. Hang on just a second. Woo, excuse me. That Babaism, right? My mother was Russian. A Babaism. When somebody sneezes after something means it's true. So here's the truth. Even after the best presentation, people will still say no. They won't say yes immediately. Not because they don't see the value, not because they don't trust you, not because of 1,001 things. It's because their protections are still activated. And their protection could have been activated in the first 5 minutes of the call. Maybe, right? How many of you ladies, I'm going to ask the ladies, if you saw a guy and his shirt is open down to here, right? He's got the first 3 buttons open and he's got an Italian horn on his chest, right? And he's got a little bit of a hairy chest. Are you excited about that? Yes or no? Some of you, that might excite you. That might be enough to just say, hey, listen, I love the way you look. I'm in. Right? So my point is that he could have the best presentation. It could be offered for free. But because you saw the Italian horn and the shirt that opened down to here, right? The Tom Jones look, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Doesn't matter how good the rest of the information. So your protection lever is, I'm not hanging out with somebody who looks like this, was activated before they even started talking. Does that make sense? Do you realize that the look on your face, if you show up on a Zoom, the sound of your voice, the words you choose to use, the sound of your voice, the volume of your voice, the speed of your voice, the timbre of your voice. Do you speak from back in your throat, down in your stomach, or right out here in front of your face? What's the timbre? What's the sound? All of that activates profit levers or protection levers. And that's before you started to get into the dialogue. So don't think, well, nobody's saying yes to me. If they're not saying yes to you, what are they saying to you? They're saying no to you because you turned them to protection, not to profit. How many of us like to be told what to do? Do you realize in a text, you can turn someone off? Do you realize you can sound overbearing, overpowerful? Do you realize you can sound weak in a text? This is in the connection. You may have them right up to this point, and then your first follow-up email, message, voice message. I would offer you a higher percentage, because what percentage, type it in the chat, you should know this by now. What percentage of a presentation are the words? What percentage of the presentation are the words? Right? 7%. Absolutely. 7%. So there's 93% you're leaving on the table when you send a DM. You got to have the most powerful 7%, and 99% of the people don't. Their words just absolutely do nothing to benefit them. They don't. This is the majority, almost everyone. So if you're not sure how to use words, you may use voice messages. And I would offer you, if you decide to use voice messages, use some novelty. Because when somebody looks at a message, if you were in a business engagement with somebody, and all of a sudden they leave you a voice message, it's like, ugh, now they're just trying to pitch me again. They want to make me feel bad. And they set their mind up to think this is just going to, and then they see a 2-minute message. Who's got 2 minutes to listen to a message for something they don't want? This isn't like your first love when you used to talk on the phone to all the wee hours of the morning, 2, 3, 4 hours on the phone. I don't know if they still do that today. I just don't know. That would be, I'm going to find the answer to that. I'm going to interview some younger folks to ask them, have you ever spent 2 or 3 hours on the phone talking to your significant other? So here's the thing. That's why relationships are in such shambles today, is because they're only doing 7% of a relationship. Anyways, that's a whole nother Paul Harvey rest of the story. So now you're doing follow-up. So here's the levers. Follow-up isn't about chasing. It's about keeping the signal alive. This is why it would be valuable to say, ask them to identify, to clarify, qualify, create expectation. Where have we heard that training before? What is the expectation of what follow-up looks like to them? Man, this is awesome. I'm ready to get started. It'll take me about a week to get some funds together because of cash flow and a variety of things. Awesome. What does that look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? Well, you'll follow up with me. I know, I will. What does that look like? Help me, because you know what your follow-up looks like. I don't. I don't know what your follow-up looks like. I don't know if you want me to send a dancing telegram. I don't know if you want me to sing an aria, write an email, send a picture. What does follow-up look like? So here's the 5 profit levers that transform follow-up, the dreaded chore, into a natural continuation of presence and gravity. Remember, we talked about that before we talked about the profit levers. What is it like to have presence? What is it like for your words to have gravity? If people are avoiding your words, there's no gravity to your words. There's no space for them to weave into your words. So here's the thing. When you start to look at these profit levers, when you're talking about follow-up, it's important to understand the previous profit levers that have been pulled, right? Have you ever heard of the phrase bought it back? You talk so much, you bought it back. You had all the profit levers pulled, and then you kept talking and you started turning on the connection lever. Remember that? You know that? Ever have that happen? So now the key is to understand what it takes for you to build your connection and your follow-up. So first one is the consistency lever. The brain trusts what's familiar. How many times do we need to present to somebody or show up in somebody's life or to offer them a way to go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. They got to say, I remember that 16, 17, 18 times. Because the first 2 times they ain't going to remember. Oh yeah, you're doing that thing. Regular, respectful, honoring follow-up reduces anxiety and builds credibility. If you don't activate the consistency lever, you activate the delay protection lever. If I respond, they'll chase me. I'll wait until I'm ready. Keep your check-ins light, predictable, not pushy. Show relatability without pressure. Tell a story. Talk about somebody else who just got started. And not that they got 72 people in their business. My friend Al, who started a couple of weeks ago, just enrolled their 3rd member. I'm so excited for them. Can't wait to be saying that about you. So a sample check-in line might sound something like, just wanted to check in to see if you had any questions. I know that's kind of cheesy. In the beginning, right? You want to ease them into it. Hey, listen, questions are valuable. I wanted to see what valuable questions you might have that I could be of value to. So that's the consistency lever. The next lever is the value added lever. When you give something helpful, an article, a resource, an insight, the brain registers generosity and connection. Also, the law of reciprocity. What have you given to your prospects? What have you given to your customers that's outside of your world, that's valuable to their world? Do you have some tripwires? Do you have some lead magnets? Do you have some content? Do you have a 3-page report on XYZ? The 7 best things to do to get through customs faster? The 6 things you need when you work with TSA? The 5 ways to pack your bag? The 17 value added benefits of using the Noble Gas lymphatic system cleaner? Do you have value added tools, or are you just constantly beating them up to say, when you getting started, when you getting started, when you getting started? Every one of you who has a business knows how to add value to your business. You'll talk to your clients a little bit longer. You'll give them some one-on-one sessions. You'll do a variety of things. You'll have a party at your house with the people so they can speak the language that they're learning. That's value added. What are you doing like that to add to your customer's business, your prospect's business? Well, they're not a customer yet. No, that might be a clue. Can you give your customers, can you give your prospects so much value that they got to hang around you? They got to say, listen, I don't know what you're doing, but I got to be with you. That's how I know my presentations are. Listen, I don't know what you do. When I show up in the world and I'm out and about and I'm at a restaurant or I'm at someplace in the public eye, people are going to notice me. And they're not going to notice me because I'm saying, hey, look at me. They're going to notice me because of the energy people feel around me. And they're going to say, what do you do? Well, I love that question. I get asked that a lot. What is it you hope I do? How many of you would say that to a prospect? What is it you hope I do? What would have to happen in your world for a stranger to come up to you and say, hey, what do you do? I watch people, they're around you. I mean, what do you do? I'm curious, what do you do? Do you get asked that a lot? If not, it's your signal. Who the hell wants to be around you? If you ask people, what do you do? And you can respond back, let them know they're in good company. I get asked that a lot. I'm curious, what do you hope I do? What would make you excited to hear I do fill in the blank? What do you think the fill in the blank looks like? Well, and then they will tell me exactly what they're hoping for. And guess what I get to say? That is exactly what I do. Because it is. If anybody has hope, I deal in hope. Period. Period. Yet we're so worried about presenting or getting or going through the list or checking off the numbers. Can your signal be so absolutely loud, proud, valuable, influential that people are drawn to it? I can promise you this. If you're talking and people have to respond to you with only words, you're dealing with 7% of the human. Well, how else am I supposed to have a dialogue or conversation? Oh, I get it. You're going to have to do a word thing. Is there emotion in the words? It's a text. You know what emotion looks like in text. So value added lever. If you don't pull the value added lever, you're going to get the scarcity lever. I don't want to give them more of my time if this is all about sales. If this is a sales trap, if this is a buying trap, if this is a getting their gig trap, I don't want to give them any more of my time. So I'm going to be scarce. You're not going to find me. I go into the witness protection program because there's no value. Why would they ever want to leave your energy if you're providing value? Again, this is hard little punch in the face, punch in the nose. If they're not wanting to hang out with you, there's no value. And listen, people can change what they consider valuable. And if you provided value to them, they're not going to throw that away. I have people today who I'll talk to, and they'll say, when you trained me 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I still use all of that content. Awesome. I'm curious. Why don't you show up now? It's just a timing thing. Oh, I get it. So if I showed up in your country, this is how I consider if I have a relationship. If I showed up in your country at 11 o'clock at night and said, I'm at the airport, would you still pick me up? Absolutely. Absolutely. No matter what the time is. Okay. Just wanted to make sure our signal is still clear, even though your presence isn't clear, isn't there. Want to make sure our signal is clear, even if the presence isn't. So that's the value added lever. The scarcity lever, this is ethical urgency, right? This is number 3. Ethical urgency activates the brain's fear of missing out, nudging decision making. If you don't, and this is a tough one, this is a fine line, the knife's edge, the razor's edge lever to pull. Because if you're not activating the scarcity lever, you're activating the skepticism lever. Is this real, or are they just trying to pressure me? And that is all signal. How you show up with this particular conversation, this particular level, is all 100% signal. This is literally what they wrote the phrase, can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person because they ain't connected with your signal. This is all about signal, the scarcity lever. Framing scarcity with transparency, showing why timing or availability matters authentically. Can you do that authentically? Not, oh my God, I got to get 2 more people to sign up this month. I got to get 5 people to sign up. When people would talk to me in my, when I was building an organization, and they would say, here it is, the, whatever it is, the 5th of the month, Oh, I got to get 10 people before I got to get 10 people enrolled. I got to get 10 people signed up so I can get this month's bonus. I would ask him, who wants to be gotten? Anybody do you want to be gotten? Do you want to be getted? No. Then why would you ever go get people? It's literally that signal shift. Oh my gosh, the end of the month's coming. I need 4 more people. That is all your signal. And it comes across as dominant, domineering. It comes across as scared. It comes across as afraid. It comes across as lack of confidence. If you need people, your voice is going to be needy. Your conversation is going to be needy. This is where you have to practice your DMP. Have you written out your DMP lately? That's just busy work. Okay, you're right. I'm rich. Let's move on. Just so you know, so here's a sample line. Just so you know, the enrollment for this round closes on Friday. I'd love it for you to have a chance to join if it's the right time. Listen, there's some bonuses getting started this week. They end on Friday. I'd love for you to join to take advantage of those. And if not, no worries. Okay, reciprocity lever, number 4. So number 1 was, what was number 1? Consistency lever. Number 2 was value added lever. Number 3 was the scarcity lever. Number 4 is the reciprocity lever. Reminding them of value received creates a natural impulse to reciprocate. Reciprocity, give, right? You'll hear people who love to refer to the religious statement, you are building castles, you are building mansions in heaven. I'm living here now. That's cool. I'm building mansions in heaven. I'd like to have some mansions here now. So it's not about delaying. That's about delaying. That's delaying your success. Reciprocity is give some value. And if they don't return it, one of 2 things, they don't see the value or they don't believe that you deserve anything. Either way, it's time for you to move on or get better. Jim Rohn said, listen, you close 3 out of 10. I close 1 out of 10. I'll beat you every time because I'll outwork you. If you're having challenges with your conversation, with your engagement, with your marketing, with your presentation, and your results are, I get 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15, 1 out of 20. Okay, that's a start. That's a number. You have to choose, will you choose to get better? So if you don't activate the reciprocity lever, you're going to activate the alignment lever. I don't want to feel guilted into something just because they gave me value. How many times have you done that? That's called buyer's remorse. They got you, man. It was awesome. Listen, I had a guy, his name was Sean. What's his last name? But he spelled it S-H-A-W-N. Sean Aker. No, that's the happy guy. This is another, I'm trying to remember his last name. About every 3 months, he would come to sell me a car because he needed to. He'd swap it out, give me a great deal, and he'd move a vehicle. After about the 3rd time, 3 cars in a year, after about the 3rd time, I'd say, dude, there is something going on here that's just not cool. And I don't want to be guilted into this anymore. I think that was the last time we spoke. Because I stopped being pressured and he thought he gave me great value. You might be giving me value, but if there's pressure tied to it, it is not valuable to me. You might think it's valuable to me, but it ain't valuable to me. So the path to shift that is keep a reminder soft and optional, never guilt-based. Hey, listen, I'm glad the resource I sent was helpful. Would it serve you to see how the full program works? Those of you in the wellness world, wouldn't that make sense if you talked about a foot bath, or you talked about the noble gas lymphatic the blah blah blah, or the energy, or the crystals with the stones with the energy in them? Send them a resource on them. I'm glad you found that valuable. Would you like to see how the whole program fits together to serve you and your dreams? So that was number 4, the reciprocity lever. Number 5, we'll wrap this up. The feedback lever, or the feed forward lever. The profit psychology around this is low stakes question, invite safe re-engagement. The brain prefers gentle invitations to pressures. Somebody asked a while ago, why does that question, have you given up on this? Why does that create such a response? And it creates such a response because it is not an invitation. It is a high pressure, high stakes question that forces the brain. The psychology behind it is that they've given up. Nobody likes to give up. Nobody likes to be told they're a quitter. That's what it triggers. You're a quitter. Have you quit? Are you quitting on this? I didn't see you as a quitter. You don't say all of that, but that's what happens inside their brain. So the feedback levers, how do you offer low, safe questions, invitations, not pressure? Because if you don't activate the feedback lever, the feed forward lever, you're activating the safety protection lever. If I answer, they'll push me into a corner. And my daddy always said, never corner a coward, they'll kill you on the way out. So a line might sound like, listen, I'd love your feed forward. I'd love your feedback. Was the info I shared helpful? Would you like to do something, or would you like to do something different? So follow-up isn't nagging. With these 5 profit levers that we talked about, you can create an environment where the prospect, the customer, feels safe to keep the conversation alive, without fear and without pressure. When you honor their protections, follow-up becomes connection. And connection is what leads to lasting growth. So there you go. We've now covered the 20 profit levers. And you got to ask yourself, how many of those am I pulling? And if I'm not pulling a profit lever, you can darn well be sure you are pulling a protection lever. So what'd you learn? What'd you like? What's your takeaways? Good morning, good morning, good morning. There's Shelby in the house.
Good morning, my friend.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Bob Kuhn.
So, boy, talk about a fire hose.
That's why
That's
the
what
first one was 2 hours.
That's what I have felt like this whole thing has been, a fire hose.
Sure.
And only,
That's why the videos are there.
right, and I've gone back. Only this morning have I felt that, okay, you can understand this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been till today.
Good. Wouldn't it better than tomorrow?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's like riding a horse. There's a day that, well, all of a sudden you feel
Right,
them, they
it
feel you.
clicks. Yeah,
Right?
it clicks. Now I'm far from clicked in, but I can see the windows opening. You know, all right, yeah. I need to go back. I need to write all these down. I need to review these. I need to visualize doing it. Wow. Yeah, but fire hose, brother. Thank you. Lots of wonderful insights here. Powerful stuff. I believe it's powerful stuff. I haven't
It's
experienced the
wildly
power.
powerful.
Yeah.
It's kind of like looking at a nuclear explosion. You're like, I don't know how that nuclear stuff works. I don't know how electricity works. But I just know that, right? What does Bob Proctor say? We don't know how electricity works. I know that it can cook a man's meal
Or can
and
cook
it
the
can
man.
cook the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. So yeah, I look forward to many hours on the tractor listening again.
I love it.
And we'll be doing over and over.
I've put together a booklet. I think I've put together a booklet with all 20 of them.
Oh, awesome.
And so I'll put that in a PDF to you all.
Oh,
those of
I
you that are
appreciate
part-
that so very much.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You bet. Love it, love it, love it. And they're valuable. And what you'll find is when you understand, here's the thing, when you understand that there are profit levers, you will fully understand, you'll have this awakening to all of the protection levers that are the converse to it. And you'll start to see in your presentation where they pull a protection lever, and you're so used to them pulling a protection lever, you skip right over it. Because that's what everybody typically does. We don't see it as a profit lever. We see it as an objection. And we go, most people object to time, money, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what a peptide is. What's a peptide? Is it something like that comes out of Alabama, like Roll Tide? I don't know. What's a peptide? So when you understand the protection levers, you will instantly see, oh, so that's why they act that way. And that's why my business stalls. And that's why fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. Questions, comments, thoughts?
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Silka.
How are you this
Outstanding.
beautiful cold morning?
Yeah, it's like 66 here.
Oh, I don't know how much it is here, but it's still dark. All right. So, it's funny. We are talking about how many times you have to, or you need to recontact someone, right?
Yep.
So you really blown away when the person literally says, I want this, and buys this. So yesterday I was on a call with this nice gentleman. And I was just literally blown away. So he didn't show up last week because I don't know, maybe he got confused or something, but very nice man. So we are talking, and I'm telling him that I also own a language academy teaching me German. And he's like, oh my God, my wife loves to learn German. She teaches herself German every day. Her birthday is next week. I'm going to buy her German lessons. I was not on the call for the German, but I mean, it was pretty amazing. So I was on the call to show him how the travel could help his business and him, and he liked that as well. But he got off the call. He says, I'm gonna buy them, send me the information. So I sent him the different packages. I sent him the information about classes, but he had told me, well, maybe classes are not the best for her because she's kind of shy, and one-on-ones are better. So I sent him all the information, and literally within a few minutes that I'd sent it, he bought the package for his wife. Never had met the man before. But funny,
So what does that tell you?
But we had a very nice. I had something he wanted.
And it wasn't the thing you wanted him to have. I know you want him to have the German.
Yes.
The initial dialogue wasn't what you were talking about for him to have.
Right. But it's funny too. We had a little conversation about who we are and what he does. He owns, but he had told me this already last week. He He owns a network marketing company.
Oh, cool.
Never heard of it before. But the funny thing is, so he used to live in San Diego. He lives in Salt Lake now. So talking about that, and then it ended up that his brother literally lives like up the street from me in Poway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, small world. I mean, pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I was like so blown away. You know, people say, "Oh, I'm going to sign up, I'm going to buy." And I'm like, yeah, within a few minutes he sold me the money, and he bought the package for his wife, and he said, I'm getting the 10-hour package for her, but if she likes the lessons, we'll buy more packages. Yeah, I mean, I was really blown away because here people make me work so hard. And here, when somebody really sees the value and wants this, they'll buy it.
So I can promise you that your signal shifted. Because if your signal hadn't shifted about the travel, he would have never been able to hear about the German. And part of this is the universe. Here's the cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff. The reason this happened so fast is to prove to you, the universe wanted to prove to you, there's people who need you, so. When our business takes a stall, takes a pause, when we're, oh my God, nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden, abundance happens in 3 minutes. We're like, where the hell was this with all of the struggle? Why? Well, this can't happen every day. That will be the kiss of death. It can happen every day. This was an unexpected. Imagine if you show up with the energy saying, I wonder who I get to serve today. There's no reason to be blown away. You are that valuable.
I was like, wow, this was like the easiest sale I've ever had, I think.
And in converse to all of the challenging of sales that you've been having, you said, well, listen, somewhere in your subconscious, you said, let me know I'm valuable. Just give me a clue that I'm a good person at a subconscious level. And this guy shows up who didn't meet last week, met this week, and then didn't want the travel, but wanted the German instantly. No, I know, but you started off with that. But
no,
the universe said you didn't
start off with no, because we were talking and I was saying, oh, because he's talking about, the companies he's owned, and he's a formulator, so he formulates the whatever, weight loss stuff. And so on. And I said, oh, I also have another company, a language company teaching mainly German. So no, literally this was first. Then I went into the travel. Okay. And I showed him the AI and how the AI can curate the trips for you really quickly. And he liked it. He said, oh, I like to travel. And he said, I'm going to talk to my wife because we make the decisions together. But that was after he already told me he's going to get the German for her. And I said, well, we can get your wife on a Zoom so I can show it to her. And he says, well, you can talk to her about it too when you're meeting for the German and everything. So no, he also said, oh, I like this. I was blown away about that as well, because I was like thinking, because people have like been so weird. And literally, this is the first time I did the presentation. Well, I didn't give him a presentation. I showed him how the things work, because certainly he wasn't interested in the business. Right. He's just interested in the travel. So I'm showing the travel. But this is the first time I've done it by myself. Without that woman. She's a very nice woman. But so yesterday was a good day. I was really blown away.
Congratulations.
And I was very excited, thank you, to connect you with this nice lady.
Yes.
I didn't know. So this lady, I've been following for a while. I mean, her and I maybe message not very often, but I actually tried to recruit her for my business. She ended up joining someone else, and I heard her talk. She came on, she was talking, and she said, I live in Arkansas. And I'm like, oh, I'm messaging her. And I said, oh, I'm so glad you joined. And I'm excited to get to meet you. And oh, you live in Arkansas. Where are you? In Arkansas, I was just there and I told her about you. And I'm thinking, well, I should connect you because she says, I'm in Little Rock. I said, oh, uh, would you like to meet my mentor and friend, Sean Murphy? He's a very nice man. She says, oh, yes.
I
So
love it.
this lady, oh my God, she went like through hell last year. She almost died twice because she had breast cancer and
Yep.
she got staph infection. I don't know if you looked at her page, but this woman, but she even why she was getting treatments and everything. She joined another network marketing company, the skincare thing. I mean, and she does realty and she has 5 children. I mean, it's pretty crazy. This woman is just amazing. So I'm glad that I could connect you with her because I think, she would benefit and you can benefit her maybe, but you guys are so close, so you could meet up literally.
Right.
Yeah,
Love it.
so yes, so it was a very good day, and I wanted to share that because we talk a lot, and I'm like sometimes I feel very stuck. So I
Right.
thought it's a good thing to also share how quickly things can shift and change. And yes, I feel very energized this morning. So
I
thank you,
love
thank
it.
you, thank you.
I love it, love it, love it. And so here's the thing, and this is for everybody. It is true that sometimes we can hear Silke's energy a little bit less than joyous and bubbling. And today we hear it differently. Here's the thing that's important for everyone, whether you're watching the recording or you're here live. The energy of joy that you exist because of an external thing is absolute proof that you are letting your personal reality determine your personality. When you shift and you stay in your state, your personality determines your personal reality. So it should, going forward, I would offer you that it shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't be blown away. You are a amazing, valuable human who can bring great joy to anybody you interact with. Period. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm not good at this. I don't know what. No. Change your state, right? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. It's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. When he got excited about you teaching German, oh, my wife loves it. It wasn't even for him. The people that you're talking to, this is a big aha. Very rarely will somebody buy something for themselves. They need to buy it to brag. What I mean by that is whenever people set a goal, it's rarely that they set a myopic, only about them goal. Usually it's about money, to pay off bills, to take care of family, to do this, to buy mom a house, to get this a car, to pay for college, to get the kids braces. This guy spent a bunch of money that he didn't have on his calendar. Zero was this chance of buying German classes from you on his calendar, but he easily spent it because he could be a hero in his bride's eyes. Oh my gosh, she loves her. So can we be a hero? Can we offer somebody the chance to be a hero in somebody else's eyes? Which is why I asked the question, if you win, who's going to be excited? Then I also asked the question, if you win, who's going to be jealous? Because if I can find more excited people than jealous people, I can promise you there's going to be people that he'll talk to at work. Oh my gosh, I met this German woman. She's beautiful. She's perfect for my wife. And I spent blah, blah, blah dollars to get my wife 10 hours of one-on-one time. Somebody's going to be like, well, aren't you just a stick in the mud? Isn't it nice to have that much? Somebody's going to be jealous because he bought his wife German lessons. He
Yeah,
doesn't care.
plus it was her birthday next. Her birthday. I mean, can you imagine how perfect timing? I mean,
Listen, this is how life is meant to be. This was the universe giving Silke Carpenter the perfect, as you wish, your dream is my command, as you wish statement to show you that life doesn't have to be tough. It's not tough. It wasn't hard. It was fun. When we make all of our business fun, when we allow the universe to surprise me with what's good, not surprise me with what's bad. I can't deal with any more bad. And you'll get more bad because that's where your signal is. That's where your frequency is. So something happened before the call. I don't care if you were with Lola Bean, you were doing something, you were talking to somebody, you were in a good mood before the call.
well, actually, before him, I had a bad call, but I always thought, okay, well, let's go. There's another call. Let's go.
But you became aware of your energy and said, okay, that was crappy. I'm not gonna have that again. So
no,
let's go.
I always try to have a very good energy when I meet with people. I smile, I laugh. I think it's so important. It doesn't matter what's happened in my life. I don't bring that I mean, I
But we
bring it.
do. It
I
doesn't.
bring it
Listen,
here.
right.
But
But
try.
even in our listen, I've done this for 40 years. It's hard for me sometimes to not let my face, right? Somebody goes, my buddy Scott Schilling says, hey, listen, how many of you know how to smile? And everybody raises their hand. Why don't you tell your face? And then everybody starts to smile, right? So it's hard to mask our feelings because our body will just absolutely reveal it. The tone of our voice will reveal it. Even though we think we're putting on, okay, I gotta get hyped. I gotta get energy. Okay, good. I can't believe that guy just told it. Anyways, all right, next, right? So it took something. There was something of significant shift that allowed it to be very easy for him to do business with you. That's all it was.
Yeah, he was a very nice man.
Yep.
I got to say. Yeah, so I'm very excited.
Congratulations. That's
There's
awesome
got to be
sauce.
many more nice people out there that really are excited to welcome and have in their life what I have for them.
Absolutely,
So
100%. 100%.
thank you. I love you.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Hey,
Anyone
bud, I
else?
got another question
Go ahead,
for you.
please.
So it just bounced into my head,
Yep.
and I'm sure others are taught and use the same thing, to use tools,
Yep.
Videos or whatnot, to share our products or opportunities.
Yep.
And I do, and we've
Yep.
got some nice ones. I'm actually in the current one that we're using, which is kind of cool. A little
Cool.
bit of it, but that's still kind of cool that I'm in it. But the question that popped into my head is that the best way to do this? I know that, not everyone maybe, God, thank God the rest of the world isn't like me and they don't have what I have on both ends of things, but, not everyone maybe is comfortable doing what I might be able to do. And so we're taught to use tools and all that, but where's the pros and cons of that?
So here's the
is
best way to ask. When I have a conversation with somebody, when I open up a dialogue with somebody and they're interested in a business, I have a business conversation. Now, I offer them a way out. I say, listen, I'm going to discuss with you what it would look like to become a customer. Well, Sean, you just said you're having a business conversation. I am. Watch what happens. One of the things that happens when people join me in business is they used to ask me, what do I do now? And you said you had an interest in this as a business. Can I discuss with you first a customer? Because we get paid for two things, customer and business build. I'm going to have a business conversation with you and show you how this business works by sharing with you the easiest way to become a customer. Well, wait a minute. Why aren't you teaching me the business? I am teaching you the business. And the reason I'm saying this is because when you get all said and done and you're like, oh my God, I love the product. It's changing my life. I feel good. My family's better. How do I do this business? What we're doing right now is the business. The question I have for you is, do you solely want to earn customer benefits, or do you want to earn executive benefits? Don't have to make that decision now, but know this, that if you come back to me next Tuesday, a month from Tuesday, and say, I want to do the business, I'll say, great, you're already trained up. It's about asking people to become customers. Because I can't build a business leader without a customer. You can't go do this business and never use the products. It's just not possible. So, with that being said, I'm going to offer you some customer tools, and I'm going to offer you some business tools. It's important to understand the difference. But you only sent me one thing, right? It is a customer tool. And if you understand there's a business behind this, that customer tool now turns into your business tool. So everything has its value. One tool can be both. Which one are you going to view it as? The customer or the business builder? So that's the conversation I have.
I like that. Yeah, there was a light bulb that went off that I was, okay, there's something I'm missing here.
So the key is that when you share your products, if you share this widget and they're going to consume it, that's your business.
Right.
They're just a customer.
Right.
The question is how do you let customers know they can easily do the business by doing what you should never have a conversation unless it's a training. My daddy always said, the only reason you give a presentation is so they can teach you how they want to get started. Do they want to get started as a customer or as a business builder? Okay, as a business builder, you got to start as a customer, but that's how the business is built. It's the same thing. When you let them realize, when that shifted to me my second year in the business, because my first year, we all know I had an $80,000 year my first year. In debt. I did it all wrong. When I shifted, it was the presentation didn't change, the products didn't change, the company didn't change, the comp plan didn't change, and I changed.
Yep.
And I changed the way I presented it. Hey, listen, we get paid for two things: finding customers and building leaders. You mentioned you wanted to create some executive income. Is that still true? Yes. Awesome. So I'm going to show you how we build customers. Because in order to build this business, you got to have a lot of what? And I let them answer it. Customers. Awesome. So can I teach you to be the best customer possible? And show you how simple it is to be a good customer. Because if you can teach that, guess what you're going to have? A business. If we think well, what do I show first? The business or the product? I show the business. I show the business of the product. I show the business of being a good customer, because that's a business. Listen, can I show you how to be the best customer to get the best value, the best rewards, and the best savings possible? You would like that, wouldn't you? Great. If you happen to, on Friday, say, I want to do this business, you already know the program, because building a big business is about building good customers.
Excellent.
Doesn't that feel
Thank you, my
different?
friend.
Doesn't that
It
feel better?
does. It does. Oh, and by the way, that doc looks awesome. Well done.
It is pretty awesome.
It's very awesome.
It is pretty
Very
awesome.
awesome. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, go enjoy it today.
All right, brother, I will.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with you.
Morning, Sean.
Good morning, Diane Sweeney.
I know you're already outstanding.
Outstanding. Even better now.
Yes.
Getting
So
to hear your voice.
this whole series, I guess I'll call it series because it started with Signal, and today hit me is just letting go of all those pressures to have the perfect presentation or the expectations that really aren't yours, right? and And the need to be understood by people, because if you listen to what their needs are, that's where it's at, right?
Yep.
So it's releasing that for yourself before you can,
And offering them options,
yeah.
because you're about to take them to a place they've never been. So we've always got to bring them to a fork in the road.
Mhm.
And if either fork they take is one you can bring value on, it's not a fork in the road for you. It's simply a small decision tree.
That's right, yes.
Listen, we can talk about products or we can talk about the science behind the ingredients. Which would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk about the general overview of the product base? Because they're all based upon a particular philosophy. Or would you like to learn about some of the particular ingredients? What is your research guided you towards? What is your mind looking at so that you can make an aligned decision? We have to offer them these small decision trees. Would you like this? Or even your dye doctor, A or B, 1 or 2? You make the choice. Their goal is to keep getting it better. Oh, 2's better. Okay, 2. And they go flip, 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 flip. 1 or 2, B or C. And you're like, oh, I like that one better. No, go back to the other one. Okay. All I'm doing is flipping switches, but I'm going to guide you. I'm going to help your vision improve.
I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And setting the stage. This is why so many of us struggle. We think they know what they want. We think they know what our business is. They may have been in network marketing for 20 years. They've never been in business with you. They've never been in business with you. I can promise you, we know that Modere shut down and a handful of people started their own company. I can tell you they are using the same human nature skills. Everything that Michelle Barnes was taught by Bob Proctor is still being used. She didn't have to go, now I got to learn everything that Cal Newport teaches because I got a new company. I'm an entrepreneur and a business owner. She wasn't a business owner. She was an independent business owner. Now she owns a business with an LLC and doing business ads and all of this stuff and licenses and blah, 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 blah. She's still teaching human nature. She's still teaching human skills. Doesn't matter the product. They did $3 million in sales their first month as a company. Not bad. Not bad.
That's awesome.
So they didn't have to learn. Could you imagine if they had to learn how to now speak as business owners? I mean, real life business owners, part of a partnership. Nope. Didn't need to change anything. New horse, same way to ride it. Now, the horse may ride different, so we adjust accordingly. Is it an English saddle? Is it a Western saddle? Is it a show jumper saddle? I don't know what the saddles are. So that's my point, is that you now get to go have a conversation with 20 plus years experience where they really can't ask you anything you don't know the answer to. Hey, listen, for years, I've been helping people who are in the ICU. Now that in my previous life was the intensive care unit. I now get to be in the ICU. It stands for I Care for You business. And there's a lot of people in the ICU.
I wish my brain worked like yours, but
Well, the good news is that you can keep rubbing off on it, right?
well, thank
Just
you.
ask your questions away. I'm here to serve.
Yes.
Love it, love it, love it. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with yous. Okie I hope today brings you great joy. Shammy, it's always good to see you. I love you bunches. It's good to see all of you. I love when the prodigal children come back. It just makes my heart sing and zing. So enjoy your day today. Have some fun. Be surprised. There's Shammy. Huh? Is that the peanuts? Oh my God. Now, you know you're getting older when you can go, I remember you when you were just a baby. That's how long you've known somebody. I love it. I love Shammy's smile. What a great joy she is. Congratulations. Love you. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. Brain training, brain scrambling misfit. I'll see y'all where?
At the next
At the next event.
The next
Next
event. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Port
Pura
Vida.
vida.
Vida. And somebody give me some Lydia.
Peace
Peace
be
be with
Be
us.
with
Be
us.
with us all. The queen of helping you pull follow-up levers and connection levers, Jessie Lee Ward.
Fall
asleep.
asleep.
Lovely.
We love you, girl. But Fluffy floating around.
Gurgly,
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 gurgly.
gurgly.
All right, everybody, go have some fun today. I love you tons. Give somebody you love a hug and surprise them and say, hey, listen, this is because you're the best. And they'll look at you crazy-eyed and all of that stuff. That's good. Change their state. All right, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no, tomorrow, no call tomorrow, because I have to go early to help a buddy of mine to help Stacy with his sheep tomorrow. We're doing AI tomorrow. We've got 100 sheep to AI, so it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. So that starts at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I love you tons. So no call tomorrow. You get to sleep in, you get to relax, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you.